Welcome to another episode of Slay with me, Leigh M. Clark. I am the founder and curator of Slay the USA, a story series about powerful women who are leaving their mark around the country. And today, from the magical place, the land of Naples, we have Valentina Mazzei, and she is pretty much a superhuman. That's how I would describe it, but she's very intentional in the way that she guides people. So she's a sound alchemist. She's also a manifestation guide. And what that means is she really helps people step into the life of their dreams and helps them through the process of ridding themselves of old beliefs and old patterns that are limiting them from their ability to manifest the life of their dreams, which is like so cool. And then a nervous system recalibrator. And obviously, through the questions today, we'll find out a little bit more about that. Welcome, Valentina. Did I miss anything about you?
You did, and thank you so much for having me, Lee. Thank you.
I'm so excited to play 10 Ways to Slay with Valentina. So we're going to do 10 questions. I have five for you, you have five for me, and all sorts of fun topics. So I'm going to go first, and I have my questions here. What is the most powerful transformation you've ever witnessed at one of your retreats?
Oh, okay. Actually, I can share one that happened literally last week because I just came back last Saturday night from Colombia. So there was this woman who was feeling so disconnected, so from her body, her voice, literally her sense of purpose. And over the course of the retreat, you could literally see her face soften, her posture change, her voice come alive. And so by the end, she was crying and laughing and moving and dancing, like fully embodied and fully transformed. And so it's the moment that, when people remember who they truly are, that's the transformation I live for.
I love that. And I love to see the energetic shift.
Yes. So, one for you. If every listener could walk away with just one belief, one shift or reminder from you today, what would you want it to be?
I would break it down like this. Like if you think of energy being protons, neutrons, and electrons, each of us has a charge. And we get to decide, that's free will, what charge we bring to each situation. You can lose some of your positive charge if you hang out with negative people, and you can gain some positivity if you hang out with other positive people because multiplicity is real when it comes to energy. Think of people and think of yourself first because self-awareness is more important than judging others, but rate rate energy on a scale of 1 to 10. It takes a lot of the personal stuff out of exchanges with other humans and also lets you know where you're at. If you're at like a 7 and you're having like a lower than usual day, try to surround yourselves with the 8s, 9s, and 10s, even if it's just through your feed. You have control over what you consume, and that includes friends, that includes so I would say just dumb down the experience of life to protons, neutrons, and electrons and try to be protective of your charge and enhance the charge of others if you can.
Amazing.
Yeah. I have a question for you. If you could guide a ceremony anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Okay, this is a tough one because, okay, so I would say definitely anywhere in nature. Like, nature is key for me, the elements. So, I don't know if I could pick one. I would do, I don't know, the desert and a tropical beach and I don't know, in the forest. So, literally where I see the sky and there's the elements, the water, the earth, and also the incredible sound that nature has and makes that would also help me. So, yeah, I would say nature for sure.
I love that. Like the symphony of nature. That's
Yeah, the
amazing.
birds,
The
the
birds.
leaves, the wind, the rain, the ocean. I mean, yeah.
That's how to stay present too, is that
Yes.
sense of surrounding.
Yeah, absolutely. One for you. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received that you still carry with you in life or business?
Um, I think it's this quote from it's kind of depressing, but it's you wouldn't worry so much what others thought of you if you realized how seldom they did. And I think that's really important when we make ourselves so important in the world and we're afraid of being judged. If we're judging others, we're all being judged all the time, but at the same time, we're our own harshest critics. and people aren't as consumed with your life choices as you think that they are, and operating from a place of performance for others versus
Mhm.
intentionality and trueness for yourself is a life imprisoned. So I think it's really like it frees you from feeling like the world revolves around you and people are really judging your choices. I know none of us think we're ego people, but kind of like all of us are,
In a
especially in the
way,
internet age.
yes.
Like, so just like ridding yourself of that feeling that you're constantly being judged. Everyone's judging themselves harder than they're judging you, and they
Yeah.
don't spend as much time and energy on the things you think they do. But also know that if you're going to stand out in this world, you're going to be judged. And it's not always going to be favorably. That's an impossible situation. Impossible. It didn't even work for like Jesus. It's impossible. Okay. So, like, just understand that when you put yourself out there, judgment will come and go. You have to really just be centered with yourself. And that's why I think it's sad advice, but it's very freeing advice as well.
It is not be controlled by others, environment, circumstances, people. Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree.
Act, don't react, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's one practice or ritual you personally rely on to stay grounded in your everyday life?
Oh, okay. It's not one. Okay, so this is how my day starts. So in the morning I wake up early. I immediately meditate to be present, get grounded and connected. So I use guided meditation, sound, of course, and then after that I do Pilates and yoga. So body, mind, and soul connection. And then after that, I jump into the cold plunge. That really helps me with the not just mental clarity, but literally the nervous system reset and recalibration. So this is how my daily routine is, and my morning starts. And no matter how chaotic the day can be, it's just like it set me for success.
You
Definitely.
do this every day.
Yes, every day. Yeah.
That is like beyond impressive. Like
Yeah.
you're the woman that everybody like aspires to be in the like conditionally disciplined, but you enjoy it and you see the value of it
I
for
do, but
health,
let me tell you,
well-being.
sometimes I don't want to do it.
I
But
know.
those are the days that matter the most. So
Yeah.
you create that like consistency, and you have to tame. We think that the mind is the mind, but literally the body is the mind. So we need to tame the animal. Like you have a dog, you have to train it. So sometimes like, do I want to go? Do I want to be in the freezing water? Do I want to move? I don't know. I don't feel like I want to sleep more. No, like that's like a small little actions are important for bigger things. Yeah.
No, I love that. And discipline's important, right? And also like the awareness of your body as like more than just it's a vessel. So
Yeah.
I mean, I very much applaud that.
But I'll also learn not to be harsh on myself. If I learn to listen to my body. So if I need to rest, I rest. You know what I mean? Because that's otherwise you go on the other side that where, oh no, I can just like I can rest, I have to move, and I've been there. But
Yeah.
now I slowly learn to listen to my body, and this is how the shift, the special like a big shift happened to me. Yeah, that
Yeah, and it's
changed me.
enhancing your life, not detracting from it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One for you. Has there been a moment when being visible felt really uncomfortable for you, and what helped you move through it?
Yeah, so when this series first started, I've been a public figure for some time. I'm known like in like the kindness circle, if you will, because I ran a charity for over 10 years. I've always been very transparent about what goes on in my life to a degree. Obviously we all have our boundaries. And it was a week before the first brunch for this series. I had just had this idea, pitched all these women in my town to come be a part of my project. I'm slaying, blah, blah, blah. You know, get to a week before I'm in a terrible like dating some young terrible guy, right, doing all the wrong things, like not slaying.
That's
And
great.
I got my nose broken in 6 places. And then yeah, so then I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I have this brunch, like do I cancel? Like I'm the slaying lady, like look at me, like I literally had Owen Wilson like rearranged face, like a nose job within the week. And I called my agent. She was like, "Go ahead, cancel. Like, just get a filter." And I had a moment that I was like, "You know what? If I'm asking all these women to show up authentically and vulnerably, why don't I?" And so when I went to the brunch that day, I said, everyone just wear a hat, don't ask any questions. And slowly was sharing my story. And so many women mirrored back to me. They had been there, they were still there, they were working through it. It happens to the strongest women sometimes because we're the ones who will talk back, you know. So people think it's weak. It's not. It's usually
Wow.
strong ones are the ones that get taken down. The weak ones are compliant, you know. But at the same rate, I left that brunch and I realized I needed to like speak up and speak out. And so I was public with that. And I was judged pretty harshly. Like I think people perceived it as attention seeking, like literally the last thing I wanted to like broadcast is like my poor taste in relationships and like bad judgment, right? Like that's not what I want to show. But at the same rate, like I don't want to just supply my highlight reel. And it was an excellent filtration process on the people who were genuinely there for me and understood me. And I felt at that time, if you did not understand my motivation for being that vulnerable and public was something so incredibly difficult, like to help other people. If you didn't see that, then you didn't know me and you didn't deserve
Mm,
my energy. Like, so that was really, it was a very vulnerable time to be online. Like in hindsight, probably should have healed a little before like I let the world come into the like situation. But I helped a lot of women through that. I ended up
I'm
advocating
sure.
internationally for women in Canada and Israel. Israel has the highest rate of domestic violence. So I worked with an organization out of Canada to like share awareness. And certainly, like, it's a small part of my story. It was once and never again because I wouldn't accept that in my life. But yeah, I think sometimes the difficult thing and the thing that really is like the teachable moments is like the time that you're willing to just put yourself out there. And I'm proud of it now. I mean, I kept going. It was a messy time and hard to get over and really felt judged. But I kept going, had the first brunch, had the first book, had the second brunch in the same month, kept going, and I never stopped. And now, look, right? I have a better nose. Like, yeah, like you know, free nose job, but no, don't do it that way. Totally don't recommend. But you know, came out cuter, came out like, and nobody's gonna knock me down. And you know what? And for anybody who sat back and judged me, like that's a you thing. Like you get that choice. But at the same rate, I'm grateful because it really allowed people who genuinely know me. And I never want to perform. I just want to be
Mm,
authentic. And
yeah,
sometimes
authentic.
authentic is messy and imperfect, and I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
good.
question for you. What's a common misconception? This is so fun, this question, because like I literally was so fascinated by just like the whole ayahuasca ceremony. We hear
Oh,
about it with like we hear about it with celebrities and we hear about like Megan Kelly and Machine Gun or Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly.
yeah.
Like there, but you obviously have done this. You've been in guided journeys. When we talked, you have like specific shaman and things like
Yeah.
that. So, what's the most common misconception people have about healing journeys like ayahuasca ceremonies?
Okay. I, I'm gonna answer with two misconceptions. First one, many people think that ayahuasca is brutal. Now, ayahuasca is probably one of the most potent plant medicine, but she's feminine, she's grandmother energy, she's like nurturing. So she can be brutal to you if you're brutal to yourself. Otherwise, she would show you love because at the end of the day, this is what we all are, pure love and pure consciousness. Now, going through, I had so many ceremonies that you go through the darkness and the pain, but that's where you find your strength and your power. And you know, the law of balance, it has to be, there has to be a duality, darkness and light, like fear and love and joy and bliss and enlightenment. The second misconception is that ayahuasca, you do a ceremony and that's it, you're done, you're healed, magic fix. This is not how it works. Ayahuasca doesn't do the work for you, she gives you homework. So
Mhm.
the ceremony can be amazing. I had one of the most profound ceremony last Thursday, but then the integration, the work, the journey start after the ceremony. So definitely this to the you have to keep up with the work, with the inner work, with healing, because you don't do a ceremony and you're done, or multiple ceremonies and you think that then you go back to your life and you're like magically, I don't even want to use the word fixed because we don't need to be fixed, but healed. No.
Enlightened.
Yeah, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another level of, like a
Consciousness and
self-inspection and consciousness and like awareness, and again, if you're a vessel, I've never done it. I'm not sure that I would, but I'm always curious about everything. I would assume that if you're carrying a lot of negative weight with you in anything that you do, even if you like drink alcohol and you drink too much, all this like negative energy is going to come out of you because it exists. It is what it is. And I think sometimes then like releasing that or inspecting it, allowing it, like giving yourself permission to feel what you feel. Just they always say it's the only way to the other side is through, not around. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to go through it and
you
unpack
have
that
to go
stuff.
through it. The only way out is through.
Avoidance,
Yeah.
yeah, avoidance is an ugly drug. Avoidance is an ugly drug, and it's something that most people are addicted to, and they find a million different ways to avoid
Yeah.
themselves, be it shopping or drinking or sports or entertainment, like whatever. Like people are always looking for
Procrastinating.
ways to
Yeah.
get outside themselves. So I love that you are a vessel of inspecting yourself and also like allowing that unlocking of consciousness.
Yeah. For you, if you could go back and whisper one thing to your younger self at the start of your journey, what would you say?
You can do it.
Yes, you can.
You
You
can do
freaking can.
it. Yeah, no, for real. I mean, literally just like at 46, just left my corporate job, like still like worried about what my parents are gonna think. Like it's like, how old am I? And like I really at 23, I started my own company right out the gate.
Wow.
And I let like my own fear and external noise fear tell me I wasn't good enough, I didn't know enough. And then I packed up my stuff and I moved to New York and I started on Madison Avenue to learn. And I learned and I stayed safe and I stayed safe and I stayed safe. So here we are, whatever, 23 years later. And I'm like, finally, like, but I could have done it then too. The internet was already abounding. So it's not like I couldn't have learned along the way, like most business owners. And again, interviewing hundreds of women across the country the last 2 years, people did it scared, people did it without knowledge, people did it without education, people just did it with that calling, that higher calling. And again, it goes back to like, I think it's dharma, like living for other people's existence. Like, a lot of times even our jobs, even the careers we choose, like tend to be to stay safe out of fear. Like decisions made in
Yeah.
fear are never exciting.
No.
Like, so yeah, so definitely. I have another one for you. If you had to describe your work in one word, this is tough because you do so much, but like if you had to describe your work in one word, what would it be and why?
Well, I have it. It's alchemy. So everything is energy. We all are energy, frequency, vibration. So it's about turning. We briefly mentioned about the darkness and light. So it's not even negative and positive. It is what it is, and so it's about turning the heaviest, darkest, the densest parts of ourselves, like the trauma, the pain, and the fear, the suffering, into light, into power, into love. So it's the energy that we can transform and alchemize. Energy cannot be destroyed, cannot be created, can only be transmuted. So it's a transformation really at a deeper and cellular level. So alchemy, I would pick alchemy.
I know, and it's funny you said that alchemy word because literally today I was like, "Hey, ChatGPT, what's the definition of alchemy?" Because one of my biggest authors who actually was on Fox News today, like promoting the project Slaying Vegas, she's an alchemist as well, and she really is like a soul tie connector, enlightenment engineer. But I really
I
wanted that
didn't.
defined, so thank you for defining that as
Yeah.
well because I think a lot of people that's like a more recent term because obviously people are becoming more woke. I call it evolution. You can call it whatever. But
Mhm.
I think that word has come up more and more. I read the book The Alchemist growing up or whatever, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a new vibe around energy and awareness on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think you have one more for me. I have one more.
Last one for you. What's one ritual, guilty pleasure, quirky habit that always helps you reset and feel most like yourself?
I would say, I mean, spending time with my family, like I have like a great boyfriend, my partner, tween, and my son. And like when I'm not doing the things, all of the things, all of the time, just, spending time playing a video game together as a family, like going out on and shopping, doing errands, just that stuff. It's like it reminds me that like that's what matters.
Yeah.
And then, the rest of the stuff is inconsequential, and I always ask myself, like, will it matter in 5 years? And like, is anyone going to die on the table? Like,
Hmm.
so whenever I can unplug, like, I look so forward to it. And anybody who knows me, if you ever book an appointment with me at like 7, 8 o'clock at night, if you're literally more than 5 minutes late, I'm done. I clocked out. I'm over. Like, that's it, because that's the time that I like literally get to like relax and be
Yeah.
myself. And it's funny too, I would say like all these years, never having found the right partner until now, I don't even know if I could have ever fully been myself because I didn't feel like that inner child got brought out as much as she's out now. So it's a lot of fun to like, I think I spent a lot of years avoiding myself and now I like really like her and she's fun and she's funny and she's
And
kind of
she's
like healed.
plain.
I healed a lot of the things. And again, like we talked about, healed through
Yeah.
beating myself up and then repairing myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think that that's so important. And also, like we said before, just like ridding yourself of other people's opinions. Like I love the Wayne Dyer quote that says, have a mind that's open to everything and attached to nothing.
Yeah.
And I try to practice that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
allow other people, you want to call it let them or whatever, like the cool way to say it is. But our attachment to other people, how they operate, their outcomes, is like it's an impossible thing. And love is faith, right? Faith is the opposite of fear. Love is
Yes.
the opposite of fear. That means trust the process, right? And
Trust
allow
the process
people to
and
just
detachment is key. That definitely it is key.
totally.
Yeah.
And people think detachment means being self-absorbed. There's a difference between being self-aware and being self-absorbed.
Yeah.
I think people
I
need to
agree.
understand that self-absorption is like based on ego. And the difference between confidence and arrogance is seeking. So it's always the I need other people to tell me I'm enough vibe, right? That's where the arrogance comes in. These people are beneath me, all of this leveling stuff. But I think really when we come back to it, that self-awareness of, hey, they call it self-actualization in therapy, like, right? I know me. I don't need co-signers. Some of her is awesome. Some of her is a pain in the ass.
Hmm.
We're riding together for every breath from birth to death. So I better get like down with her being the BFF. Treat her like your bestie. And most of the times we get upset is when we let ourselves down, when we betray ourselves for
Yeah.
another person. We usually are not even mad at the other person. We're mad at what we accept. We're mad at the betrayal that we've given to ourselves. Because again, only
Self-love.
companion you got the whole way. And I mean, listen, I tried to knock her out. I tried to like dip her in alcohol, do whatever I could to like avoid, but like it was really like making peace with myself and loving the parts of me that are like my quirks, my annoying parts. Like, if anybody ever gets frustrated with my like lack of attention to detail, I'm like, imagine being with me all day. I'm stuck with her.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't feel defensive. Like, I know who I am, and that's okay. There's a lot of big picture, wonderful things. But I think accepting your flaws and knowing that there's nothing anyone else can say to me that can hurt me if I'm aware of the places I don't like.
Yeah.
And if I can make peace with them or if I can change them, right? Two choices. And if you can be aware very clearly on what you don't really enjoy about yourself and decide you'll either make peace with her or you're going to fix it, everyone else's opinion can never hurt you because you already have identified what is it that they could say that will hurt your feelings and why. Why does it hurt your feelings? So yeah, yes. And I have a bonus question for you.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, so I've just asked people this. A woman asked Renat Halon and Neil, who I interviewed the other day in Orlando. She said, "What's one piece of advice that you used to stand on, like stand on, that you no longer stand on?"
Hmm. Okay. Well, definitely, growing up, I've been told so many times to be the good girl, like just be nice and be quiet and be, polite. No, I don't. It's not working any longer because I had to work so much on myself, on my throat chakra, speaking up. and communicating my truth. So definitely I'm not listening to that advice anymore. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And I had a similar response as like, I think, I used to think everyone deserves your kindness. And I think being more protective, again, kindness means do no harm. So you don't have to make it worse. You don't have to match energy. Like I said before, if you want to assign numbers, they're at a 4, you're at a 10, whatever that is. But I think just letting a lot of that stuff go and being protective of your energy,
Yeah.
knowing that and being very aware. And like, if you're not in that mode and you can see I'm like a 4, 5, 6, what can you do that will self-care? Everything is very cliche, but there's a reason it's cliche because it's true, right? And it's true. And we have to return to source and we have to show love inward and outward. You can't pour from an empty cup.
No, you can't. No,
Yeah,
no, no, no. This is
definitely.
when burnout, exhaustion, survival come, and no, you can't. No, no, no. We need to. It's the moment now that, especially women, really understand that that's not the norm. The
Right.
norm is not burnout, is not survival, fight or flight, exhaustion, overwhelm, anxiety. No, the norm is self-love, magnetism. The,
Yes.
the norm is like being fully embodied with ourselves, with our feminine energy, masculine energy, like all merged together. And I mean, we're just powerhouses. So come on, let's slay.
I love this. Well, you are my alchemist. You're my enlightenment engineer, if you will, which I adore. Tell the people how to find you and like we'll go to how do they go on retreats with you or like work with you
Yeah.
virtually? Where are you?
So I just came back from Colombia, but I'm going back in November 16th to the 22nd. It's such a powerful retreat. So many modalities. Of course, there's also an ayahuasca ceremony, but it's not just about the modalities. It's about how you come and how you live transformed, building memories, creating like friendships and partnerships. So it's just, I mean, I'm blown away by the transformation that I just witnessed last week. Can't wait to do it again. And you can find me on Instagram at where.themagic.happens. And yeah, and also my website, wherethemagichappensnow.com.
I love that. I love that. Well, Valentina, thank you again for joining us. I'm gonna end the episode, but stay on with me for a minute.
Thank you so
You
much.
guys tune in for the next one. We'll talk soon.
Bye. Thank you.